This solves everything for the New York Knicks as the perfect trade target has been revealed to help the New York Knicks work through some of this early season struggles under their new head coach, and we got to break it all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Knicks Basketball 365. If you're a New York Knicks fan, please hit that subscribe button. But getting into the news for today, coming from sportingnews.com, Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns have picked up the pace after a slower start to the season and are on a 4-game winning streak. However, if the Knicks truly want to capitalize on a weak Eastern Conference, they should be looking to solve one of the team's biggest problems. Although the trade deadline seems like forever away, the New York Knicks' biggest need they must address by February 5th is already crystal clear. They need to give Jalen Brunson a backup, a real, actual backup, Favalv said Sunday. Favalv and the rest of the general public can see that the Knicks desperately need creation outside of Jalen Brunson. That's where Ayo Dosunmu of the Chicago Bulls comes in, who is on a team-friendly 3-year, $21 million contract. Dosunmu's minutes will decrease once Kobe White comes back, and the team already has Josh Giddey and Trey Jones as their primary playmakers, leaving the New York Knicks the perfect options for a Dosunmu trade if the New York Knicks want to continue to improve this roster around Jalen Brunson. Now, it is no surprise that the New York Knicks need more help at the guard position from people around Jalen Brunson this season. It's kind of been how the current roster has worked out over the past couple of seasons. We have Deuce McBride, who we like. We got Landry Shamet, who is a good shooter, but shot creation and for himself and others could use work. But he is already at a stage of his career where we kind of know what he is going to be. So we're not really going to get a whole lot more out of Landry Shamet in terms of development, and he kind of is just a pure shooter. We need shot creation. Enter Ayo Dosunmu. If we look at what his stats have been over the past 3 seasons, averaging this year 14.6 points per game, playing just under 25 minutes a night, shooting 55% from the field and 46.2% from the three-point line. So he's another player who can add to the New York Knicks shooting a high percentage, but he also doesn't take a ton of shots. He's more there to be a slashing playmaker for the New York Knicks. As we can see, he's not a three-point shooter because that 46.2 number is most likely being skewed by the fact that he's only played 7 games so far this season. Last year, in a bigger sample size, only shooting 32.8% from the field. And then 3 years ago with the Bulls in 2023 to 2024, shooting 40% from 3, which again, very solid. So an okay 3-point shooter, but what he really brings to the table is going to be creation for others, not just him. It's going to be for everyone else on the bench. For years, the New York Knicks have seen once Jalen Brunson goes out, the bench offensively just kind of just stands around. The ball movement comes to a halt, and the scoring is extremely problematic. Now, the New York Knicks went out and picked up Jordan Clarkson out of free agency, who is someone who's going to get a ton of points for himself, but he's still a guy that really doesn't create opportunities for others. And we have to remember, there are other people on that bench unit. It's not just our guards going to work, and we have to find ways to get everybody involved, to get an offense working that works out for everybody and gets a whole lot of movement from the entire team, not just the one guy with the basketball. Now, it's cool to score, and scoring matters personally, but if you can get the whole team going and the whole bench going, that's how you really can build momentum, using your bench while A, resting starters, B, protecting the starters from injury, and just making sure that the entire offense works out better. But looking at what we are currently dealing with as our bench unit, Josh Hart, he transition-wise is going to score, but he doesn't create his own shot. Gershon Yabusele not going to create his own shot or really any offense for himself. Huck Porty not going to create offense, although kind of take the 5 spot out of this because our 5 is not expected to be doing anything other than rebounding and being a menace in the paint. But there are a ton of guys outside of Miles McBride. This bench doesn't have a whole lot of people that are going to be doing a whole lot of shot creation. Now, Tyler Kolek is probably our best creator outside of Miles McBride when you come talk about only the bench. But Tyler Kolek at this stage of his career, still has more development to go. He was an older prospect coming out of Marquette, but still hasn't fully found his way in the NBA. Now, our head coach has sent him down to the G League to work on his development, work on becoming a more complete player, and we're going to let him cook there, see how that works out. But for the time being, we're going to have to figure something out, and Dosunmu is someone who's going to be able to fill in. He's going to be probably filling in as the backup 2 guard, and we'll just be rotating through when we need more shot creation, when we need the bench to do something other than just stand there and stand still, because it's extremely important that our new offensive system, the basketball is moving fast. The point of our new system is to open up 3-point shots for yourself and for other players. You may have noticed versus the Brooklyn Nets yesterday, when we were scoring points, guys were getting wide open threes, not just because the Nets defense was that bad, which it was bad, but because the basketball was moving extremely, extremely fast. You have to remember, the ball moves faster than the defenders do. So if you can keep moving the ball, we are going to find an open man, and we're going to be able to get up 3-point shots with a high volume. And if we can shoot just a high enough percentage, that's going to lead to a whole lot of winning. But the guys we have right now, they're solid. Like I really like McBride. Kolek has shown some flashes this year, but still can't put too many eggs in the Kolek basket. We still need more when it comes to the bench behind Jalen Brunson. I know Brunson is capable of playing a lot more minutes than he has been playing this season, but we have to remember this year is about getting to the playoffs healthy and then ramping up guys in the playoffs minutes-wise. Regular season, we don't want to overload any one starter with too many minutes. We want to make sure these guys are staying healthy and getting to the end of the season healthy. So the help and the shot and more has to come from the bench. Against the Brooklyn Nets, the bench finally stepped up in a way that we haven't seen it from them all season, and they have contributed to this 4-game winning streaks that we are currently on, but we need more from the bench. That was expected to be a huge increase this year. After last year, the bench didn't do a whole lot, but we chalked it up to Tom Thibodeau. He doesn't play the bench a whole lot. They don't get opportunities to get into a rhythm. So how could they be a good bench unit? And I absolutely agree with that. But currently, this season, the New York Knicks still in the bottom 10 in terms of points per game off the bench per night. So that has to improve. And then they just you can feel like something is off when you watch the New York Knicks. When you watch their bench, the ball doesn't move fast enough. There's too much standing around, which we know Mike Brown hates. He's already called out the offense for guys just standing around. I shouldn't even put the bunny ears up because they are standing around sometimes. We have to figure out a way to get this bench unit moving really, really fast, because in the new NBA with the apron system, you're not able to just stack up star players the way you've been able to in the past. And you're not just able to have a super team. That's the term I'm looking for. You're not able to keep a super team together. It's very healthy for the game. I love to see it, but we have to play the game properly. And the way to properly play the game is make sure you have one of the best bench units in the NBA if you're planning on making a run to a Larry O'Brien trophy come the summer. But hopefully we're going to get this thing figured out. Ayo Dosunmu would be an awesome pickup for this team and someone who could fit in perfectly with what the New York Knicks are trying to put together and where their strengths and weaknesses are coming off of the bench. We can make this trade happen. I would love to see it. But that's what I got for this video. If you stuck around this long, thank you for watching the video. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and go Knicks.